Hello, hi everyone. Hope you are doing well. So in this video I would like to show you how to create a workflow like this one. So let me explain what this workflow is doing before even creating one. So I'm going to go through all the steps here and what is exactly is doing. So from the beginning we're going to test if the we are going to work on the need IT request. So basically you should have the developer account and then install the need IT request in your ServiceNow developer instance. Once you have all this done, you can like really work on this if you want. And the first thing is, let me reduce the music. Okay, the first thing, we are creating a request, and the request, it should be in awaiting approval. So in that case, the workflow is starting, and from that point we are going to look specifically if the request is coming from a specific user, which is ABBA. Depending on the output, if it is no, we're gonna set the values of the request to close complete, I mean the state field, and then we're gonna end the workflow, which is this transition. So I can click on that if you want. So you can, as you can see, if it is a yes, in that case it's going for approval and the manager is going to approve. And once that person, depending on the output here, if it is approved, it's going to set the value to state approved, and then we're going to create a branch. So this is the new thing comparing to other videos I have done before. The branch that we are using. So the branch, what is the purpose of the branch is like creating from one activity two different activity block. So we have here create task and create task. As you can see here, you have from the branch two line like splitted. So from one activity is going to be two activity. And then we are going to use another one, which is like the join. The join is the opposite. If you want to find, is under utilities, the branch, and join is under the utilities tab. So the join is basically going to make sure that the previous task, which is joined to that block, so I'm talking about task, I mean the previous block or activity block, it should be finished. Once that finished, it's gonna complete the flow. So this is our workflow. This is not specifically for anything. We can imagine this like for contracting purposes or any sort of thing. For any sort of process that you can have in mind, like there is one person need to be approved, and then let's say there is two tasks should be like managed by two different person, and they need as well to be involved at the same time to approve that task in order to fulfill the entire flow. So that's our process. This is our flow, and let's start to create this one from scratch from the beginning. And I'm gonna just delete this one and then I create a new one. Okay, so just delete this one. Okay, now to create one, just click on new workflow, and if you want to access workflow editor, all you need to do is to type in your service management workflow editor. I'm gonna do that for you. Editor. So as you can see, we have the workflow, and you can see all the available workflow pre-installed, pre-built, I would say. Now click on workflow, new workflow, and we're gonna give a title here. It's gonna be need IT request for approval. That's our thing. And task assignment. Great, this is our title. I think it's a good one, and I'm gonna add if it is for able teacher. I'm gonna click on table, and I choose the table concern one, which is need IT. If condition matches as per the training instruction, I should choose run the workflow always, and I'm gonna type here the state that we're gonna fix is awaiting approval. So that's the first thing. The workflow is beginning when the need IT request is created with the state awaiting approval. Let me show that in the so when I click here and create new, and it should be awaiting approval in order to start the in order to trigger the workflow. This change, not requested, not approved, not awaiting feedback, not closed, any sort of this thing. So let me grab this, put it here, and I'm gonna put this one is much more proper. So the first thing we're gonna set the condition. The condition is if it is coming from able to there. So I'm gonna just drag and drop here this one, and I'm gonna name it if the requester is able tutor, and I'm gonna set the condition here. So it's going to be requested for is able teacher. Submit. Great. So if it is a yes, we are going to send that to user, to the manager of able tutor to approve. So for that we have to choose approval user, and I'm going to put it here, and let's wait a bit. Send the request for approval to Fred Liddy. Right. So Fred Liddy is actually the manager of the able. So no condition, sorry. I'm going to check, just find the manager by using the list here. You have to click on this icon, and then you look for requested for, you click on the plus button, and then you click on manager. This is the syntax is called dot walking. There are a lot of videos I actually explained also in the previous video how this thing works, and there are also other videos available in YouTube specifically for that. So I'm gonna submit it. Great. So if the manager approved, what we should happen, we're gonna set the value of the need IT request to how to say approved. So for that we're gonna use the in the core activities set values. I'm gonna just drag and drop set values. Let's give a appropriate title, sorry. Set the value to set the state value to approved, and here I'm going to choose state, and I'm gonna say approved. Submit. Let's wait a bit, it should transition. Okay, didn't do it, so I'm gonna do it manually. Right, good one. Now at this point we're gonna create a branch. As I explained below, this is the new thing in this tutorial. So we have done this before in the previous videos, like the requested for, approval, and the setting values, all these things. This is the new thing that we're gonna do, is like creating a branch. A branch is going to take one line activity and separate into multiple activity. So in order to do that, you just find in utilities the branch section, and you're gonna just drag and drop here, let's say like this. I'm gonna put it split into two tasks. Great. That's all we need to do. So that's his job. We don't have any other conditional I think. So I'm gonna connect this from this node to this one. So his job is to split two. So we're gonna create two tasks, and the one is going to be assigned to me and the one is going to be assigned to another user. So both of us, we are going to take action. So let's find where is the create task. So under task tab you have the create task. You just drag and drop, and you are going to say task assigned to Michelle. Okay, Michelle, for document, it's a long title, document review 1. Okay, and I'm gonna put here, please review the document 1. Assigned to is going to be Michelle, so his name is Kristen Michelle. Great. And the task, we are going to choose the task table by default, and you have a lot of other tables, but here for the just for the training for the tutorial we are using this one. Great. So we have done the first one, so I'm gonna branch it here. I don't know if we can use this term, but we're gonna connect it here, and then we're gonna create another one which is going to be for me. So in this case I'm gonna put task assigned to me for document review, another long title 2, and task I'm gonna put here, please review document 2. So we're gonna keep the task type as for the task table, and it's going to be assigned to me. So I'm gonna type system administrator here, right? Now submit it. It's created. So the first one is for Michelle, the second one is for me, depending on the document. So I'm gonna branch it here again. Done. So let's make it like more clear. Okay, it's fine. Now the part is we're gonna join them. Okay, the joining activity is will be like active only if those two tasks is closed, is finished. Otherwise it will not go through that. So it's just for to know how this thing works, how to use these things. So join activity you can find here under utilities, and just drag and drop, and I'm gonna put join the two tasks, the two okay, today I'm writing very bad. Join the two document review task. Great. So done. Okay, I'm gonna correct it. I have twice the two. Okay, so I'm gonna join them. Great. So we're gonna now we're gonna put to the n is going to be n, also from incomplete is going to be ended. So let's put that connector as well. Okay, This is another difficult thing to do. Great. Now we have to look at if the condition is, if it is not able to, if it is not, if Redludi did not approve what we should take as action. So it's going to be directly refused if let's put it like this. If it is a no, if it is not able, so I'm going to put it here like this. And if it is rejected, we're going to set the value to close complete of the request and then finish the workflow. For that, we're going to again use the set values. I just drag and drop as I did before, and I'm going to put set the state to close complete. Perfect. I think this is the first time I type properly, and I'm going to put that here, and then this will be connected to here. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Great, so it's done. So the main purpose of this video is to show you how to create the branch one, this one, how to create the join one, what is their like what is the action of, what is their activity, how they can be used in our workflow. And we have many more here. I have to really play around to find out which one is doing what. And I can find, like, we have already all the available how to say workflow here, so you can just look at these ones and then see what is actually doing all these things. Okay, so now is correct, our workflow is done. Now I'm going to just validate it. So you click on this button. If something is going wrong at this point, it's going to tell you here, critical, is going to tell you something is wrong. So for us, everything is perfect. So now we are going to just test how this thing works. So we're going to create an able tutor request, and then see, and then approve it, and then approve the both task. I'm going to approve, and also I'm going to make Michelle to approve the task as a close complete, and view once in the end how the workflow, what is the context of the workflow, how it's like it moved from different branches, from the beginning to the end. Okay, so let's get started. Start to create one. So I'm not going to use this one. Sometime it's making some errors, so I'm going to click on create new. So 2064, I'm going to remember that. ABBA tutor. Great. So now it's going to be this number, this date. I'm going to put this date, and it's going to be the first condition is awaiting approval. If it is not awaiting approval, it's not going to trigger the workflow. That's our condition. Okay. Submit. Great, it's done. So now what it should happen, if we look at workflow, it should check if it is able tutor and then send for approval. So if you want to see that really, if that happens, you can click on show context, and you can see here something is in executing, and we have our record number 2064. If you remember, if I click on the timestamp and I go back to the show workflow, and you can see here the blue ones are finished, and we can see here the transition in the blue, and is waiting for approval from the manager, which is Fred Liddy. So I'm going to now impersonate user. I'm going to pretend to be Fred Liddy, and I'm gonna approve. Okay, service desk. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay, it should be under my approvals, and there is one in requested. So it's, and we have our in request number. So I click now here and I'm gonna approve it. Done. At this point we can check again what's happening. It should be approved, so this transition should be active, and the set values, it should be also to be approved. So let's get back to system administrator and check our need IT all. As you can see here, it's approved, and we can see as well here by clicking show context and still executing. Great. I click on show workflow. So this part is done, even the branch is done, and it's running on the creation of the task, which means there is now two tasks, one for me reviewing the document 2, one for Michelle to review the document 1. In our case here, in our example, we're gonna make it very simple. I'm gonna make it like close complete for both tasks to show you how after join react, how the join activity block works. And so I'm gonna close this one. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like this. So I'm gonna impersonate to be Kristen Michelle and look for the task. I click on task and I have two. Basically Kristen is able to see as well as the task. So as you can see, assigned to is system administrator, and then there is one for him. So I'm not going to touch the one which is for me. I'm going to touch the one which is for Kristen. So this one, and as we said, we have a lot of different options here to use it, but only if you choose close, complete, incomplete, or skipped is gonna execute for the next step. And it should be the same for, in my case, if I put work in progress or pending, the task, it will be seen as not completed and still executing mode. So let's directly now let's test one. Let's put on work on progress, and I'm gonna impersonate, and I'm gonna look for the task. I click on mine. I'm gonna put work on progress as well. Still on progress. Let's see how this thing look like in the context level. You can see it's still executing, is not finished, because you just tell them, you put them in pending, and it's still there. So now I'm going to just approve it. So I'm the system administrator here. I'm going to open it and put close complete, update. Now I'm going to be Michelle, Kristen. Sorry, and I'm going to close complete. At this point, the workflow should be finished. So let's see that if that thing works. Okay, I'm going here, show context. As you can see, the state is not anymore executing, is finished. The related record is ours. And let's click on the timestamp and see the workflow, how it is really look like. As you can see here, all the activity blocks, not this one, but the rest of the blocks are completed, and it's going from completed and is ended. This is just a tutorial how to use the different branches, like how to use different activity blocks that I'm also learning. And so this one, the branch and the join one. So I should actually really find out when the join is going to transit from incomplete task, because even though you choose for both tasks as close incomplete, for the join activity block it's more like it's completed. So it's not like it's going to end from the incomplete. So I still need to test around these things. But here is just for how to create a workflow in general, how to use different things in the core activities. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Have a good weekend. Bye.